Hi everyone, thank you for watching. This is just a quick video to go over the features of Sprite Slicer. Just give you a quick overview of how it works and how easy it is to hook up. So if we open up Unity here, we've got an empty scene. So let's just drag in a floor. Let's get some objects in here, just some sprites that we can cut. So these are just regular Unity 2D sprites. So for the floor, let's just add a rigid body to it and a box collider, and let's make that kinematic so it doesn't fall through the floor, it doesn't fall through the air. So let's take this pole, let's do the same for that. So we'll add a rigid body 2D and a box collider. Let's copy and paste that a few times. If we add a top here, let's just move that down, and also add a rigid body and box collider. So there we have a little kind of structure thing. If we just duplicate this a couple of times, there we are. That's good, and I want to get rid of one of these. There we are, so if we hit play here, that should hopefully stand up. Is that okay? Yeah, okay, so that's all kind of physically modelled. Let's just zoom the camera out a little bit, in the centre of that. And just for the sake of being a bit more interesting, I'll just add a few more things. And just add that again, and let's stick one at the top too, and just get rid of these duplicate ones here. Okay. Right, that's sort of just about stable. Okay, right, so let's create something to actually slice these with. So if we create a new game object, let's call it Demo Manager. Let's add a new component to it called Slice Demo. No, not that one. Add component, slice demo, new script, slice demo. That's that. Right, okay, so this is our little class which will run while the game's running. So what we want to do is each frame we want to, let's get the mouse position equals input.mouse position. Sprite Slicer works in world coordinates rather than screen coordinates. So what we actually want to do is camera.main.screen to world point. So this will take our mouse coordinates in the screen coordinates and convert it to an actual world position. Let's have a little boolean which remembers if the mouse is down or not. So if input okay, so this is just a flag which will toggle on when the user presses the mouse button down. So let's say while the mouse is down, we will draw a ray from the original mouse position to the current mouse position. So we'll do debug, draw a line, mouse position, and then we need to remember the initial mouse position. So vector3 mouse start position. So when the user presses that down for the first time, so if the mouse isn't pressed, let's store that. So we're just storing the mouse position as the mouse start position. So let's draw the line from the mouse start position to the current mouse position, and let's colour it red. Mouse start position, I'll just change this to current mouse position, just to be a bit clearer. Let's just compile that. What's that? Mouse position. Okay, that works. So if we just run the game now. So now if we draw in the game view here, if you have a look in the scene view, you should see a red line, which is basically just drawing from the current mouse position, sorry, from the mouse start position when I clicked to the current mouse position. We're going to use this line as our vector that we're going to cut things across. So actually using Sprite Slicer is extremely simple. Basically, when the mouse is released, we're just going to call Sprite Slicer 2D, slice all sprites, mouse start position, mouse current mouse position, and that's it. Let's just compile that. That works. Okay, so if we go back to Unity, and we start, if we just do a diagonal downwards cut like this, you see all those sprites have got sliced and the whole thing falls down. You can slice stuff as much as you want. So every time this red line intersects stuff, things get sliced. And you can see in the hierarchy here we're getting more and more child objects getting added every time they get sliced. You can slice anything multiple times, so you can slice a Unity sprite or you can slice a sprite which has already been sliced. This also supports Toolkit 2D sprites fine. There's literally no extra setup to it, it just works on the regular Unity sprites. What else? I can also show you the explosion code. So in here, let's do if input get mouse position, sorry, let's change this so that if the user presses the mouse down, we do physics2d.raycast all raycast, let's do just do current mouse position here. Sorry, I'm trying to remember whether this needs to be world or screen coordinates. I think you just do vector2.0 and then distance and naught. This gives us a raycast hit 2D results equals that, and then if results dot rigid body, is that rigid body 2D? Yes it is. Then we can do Sprite Slicer 2D dot explode sprites, and we just pass in the rigid body results dot rigid body dot game object, and then a number of cuts. So the explosion code basically intersects the center of the object with multiple slices and then applies an explosion force. So let's put 8 cuts and then give it a force of, I honestly don't know what a good value is, 5,000. Let's try that. I think that should work, hopefully. What I see. So if we run this now and just click on things, hopefully they will explode in a big pile of bits. Right? So yeah, that's it really. It's really handy. It's so easy to set up. It's just static script functions. You don't need to create any sort of manager, anything to maintain this. You have extra options in the code where if you want to get a list of all things that have been sliced back, you can do that. It will give you a list of all the parent objects which have been destroyed, or the child objects which have been created as a result of those parent destructions. So if you had, say, a Fruit Ninja style game and you wanted to increment a score, depending on what object was sliced, you can get all the information you need to kind of make those logic decisions. But yeah, that's about it. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter or on the Unity forums if you've got any extra questions.